Hi, welcome. It's time for the Unitarian Universalist of Zurich online service for today. And I am your host, Susan Maud. And today we're going to be talking about respect, self respect, and presence, presenting yourself. So, anyways, welcome. Unitarian Universalist is a religious organization that has no specific doctrine that they follow. They do have 7 principles, and the first one is that we all have the right to be here. So, and I'm going to extend that to animals too. They have a right to be here. So, because we have that right to be here, all of us, humans and animals, but let's focus more on humans. Life is important. So, with that said, we normally are open to discussion about all sorts of life, religious discussions, and we welcome people from all faiths. So I have been a Unitarian Universalist, I guess, for about 9 years now. I don't know exactly when I started, but I've met people from, Catholics, even practicing Catholics, to Muslims, to Buddhists, to pagans, and all the various things in between, even Scientologists. So, anyway, all are welcome. You can join me here, or maybe there's one in your local area that you want to go and experience. I recommend it. So, another one of our principles is a search for truth. And it's what I do, a search for truth. So I am quite happy with this religion that I discovered. There was a time in my life where I had given up a belief in an imaginary person, and I chose to live life in reality with my feet firmly on the ground. And then for a long time, I didn't have a church, which was fine with me. But then there came a time where I realized, it would be nice to have a place, a community to go to and be a part of. So that's when I started going to the Unitarian Universalists of Basel in Switzerland. And then eventually I started this one first in person in Zurich, Switzerland, and then online, because now I live in West Virginia. I did start this with the help of the Basel UU, and a friend, Blanca Maria, also helped me to get it started. So, anyways, that's the story of this UU and of UU in general. And if you want to look up more about them, go to the Unitarian Universalist Association online, and you can find out more about them. And then there's a European Unitarian Universalist that I'm a part of. So anyway, that's where we are, how it goes. And so it's time to get started. And I will light this candle, and then we can do the hopes and concerns part of the service and joys. So I have some big concerns with all the gun violence this past week and a half. We've had some shootings and some more shootings, actually. And it's not acceptable. So first, I would like to have a moment of silence for all the people who have lost their lives or lost someone important to them this last little while, in the big stories, and then also in maybe some personal stories that you know of. We have seemingly a problem with anger and aggression. So let's have that moment of silence first, and then we'll go on. This is a candle of sorrow and concern. Okay. So next is a candle of I don't know. What should it be a candle of? I did my tax information that the assessor's office wanted. So I guess that's a candle of joy, because that paperwork's done. So we'll do that. And then I think that's about it. I'm really so concerned about the violence in our country. And that's why today's service is going to be on respecting ourselves and focusing on ourselves. And so, yeah, it's what we need. So I'm going to leave it at those two things that I just said. And then this candle is for you to say your, whether it's concerned or hope or joy. That candle was for you. And now, I think, again, I had that accident with the deer back in April, and I'm still having some pains from it. So if I move a bit funny, it's because of that. So sorry about that. But anyways, yeah, I can't lean really. So, just because you are a human, you deserve a certain amount of respect. And yeah, so let's I'm a little tense, so let's relax for a second. Let's relax our shoulders, maybe move your arms a bit, and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and let your shoulders down and back and out and stretch. And let's do it again. Ready? In and out. Okay. So, things that build respect. Of course, getting your own respect from yourself is important. And that begins with what you put into yourself. So if you put in Doritos and potato chips and other snacky fast food items, like, I don't mean to pick on McDonald's, but Yeah. Or even like a Arby's. Since I've been back in the US, I've been trying some of these fast food restaurants that I haven't eaten at for decades. And the quality is extremely low. And the vitamin content of the food is extremely poor. Most of the time, I feel rather sick afterwards, and I have all sorts of gas problems. So, if you have chronic heartburn, it might be from what you're eating. And then this stuff is not healthy, so it's clogging your arteries and probably giving you a lot of your symptoms, whatever is sending you to the doctor's office. So, whenever possible, I try to eat as healthy as possible, and I cook my own food right at home and prepare it with fresh ingredients. I try to get like at least one vegetarian meal in every day and one meat protein meal. And so I think we're not eating well. And even if you go to some of the slower fast food places, like any of the chain restaurants, they're using a lot of corn syrup and a lot of some sort of oil that I think is not healthy. And for the longest time since I've been back too, I was looking for just to buy olives, canola oil. So just to buy olives, which come with their own oil. In the US, they're either packaged in water or they're packaged in canola oil. And there's just something wrong with this. I did finally find a product that had olives in it, and it had olive oil only. Not a mixture of olive oil and canola oil, but just olive oil. And that was in a prepared jar of sort of mashed up olives, like an olive pesto. And it was excellent. My body loved it. And olives and olive oil is very healing. So I highly recommend that if you're not allergic, which I've never met anyone allergic to olives or olive oil, you should have some olive oil every day. And you should have olives a couple of times a week. But you don't want the prepackaged ones. Find this pesto stuff, make a piece of toast, and put it on top. It's really good. Add a little flavoring, whatever you like, and maybe a little extra olive oil, and then you've got a nice little snack. It's better than potato chips or all the different things that you can buy at the store that are not healthy. So, it starts with what we put in to our bodies. Also, these fake artificial sweeteners are extremely dangerous. And, no studies were really ever done enough on them. And so a lot of your medical ailments might be from them. I've never, only on accident, did I ever have anything with artificial sweeteners. Right from the very beginning with saccharin, when that came out, and then they started saying that it caused cancer, I think, I decided, no, I'm going to eat sugar. And, brown sugar or white sugar or whatever sugar, that's what I eat. if I'm using any sweetener. And, I just don't have a lot of the aches and pains that a lot of the people that I meet on a daily basis in the United States have. So, again, respecting our own body starts with us. And tap water, too, I don't know how healthy that is. So I recommend a mixture of drinking tap water and then also bottled water throughout the week so that you can not get only water from one source. Because I don't know, every town is different and every water source is different. So just use your brain about that. And don't drink too much water, and ice water is actually really bad for you. Apparently, it causes ear infections and it could lead to hearing loss. So skip the ice water, skip ice in your beverages if possible, and start getting used to drinking room temperature items. Because at room temperature, anyways, then it has a better flavor. So that's, things cooled and things cold are two different things. So drinking something cooled is okay. Drinking something cold or ice cold is not. And even, ice cream is one thing, of course. Have some ice cream and have some ice, but drink from the glass. I don't know when it became so popular that we don't drink from glasses anymore. But we need to go back and drink from glasses because your body has no idea that you've even eaten or drank anything. So that's why you're always thirsty. Because if you're always sipping from a straw or a sippy cup, like the morning coffees in your car, again, it's bypassing a lot of your tongue. And so your tongue doesn't know that it's received anything. So then you're perpetually thirsty. And the last thing that I want to say is I find that the lack of salt or good quality salt in the U.S. in food, it's like the wrong salt that they use in food. So you need good quality salt. You need sea salt or iodized salt every day, a little bit. It's what's needed to keep your body working, your nerves working. If you're not getting enough salt, you're going to have nerve problem. So forget what I know here. Salt is said. You should keep it low and everything. But I'm going to say that that's also probably part of the hunger problem is because you're being fed artificial salt or salt that is a different variety than what your body really needs. And there are different salts out there. I'm not a scientist and I'm not a somebody who studied diet and everything. So I can only tell you my experience. But and I'm not a medical professional either. So if all of this conflicts with what your doctor told you, you may want to talk to your doctor about it. But I really think that what's in a lot of the processed food is the wrong salt. And that's why you don't feel good after eating it. And it doesn't satisfy your hunger or anything else. So don't be afraid of salt. Use real quality products and you'll feel better. And then once you start putting good stuff in to fuel your body, your mind will start to clear up and work better too. Yeah. But then also with the mind, and I know I also have songs that I like that are not, the words are not the healthiest for your heart and soul. So what I can say is that try to eliminate some of these angry songs from your playlist. Try to put love songs in, especially songs about you being really great, because you are. So one song, so the song of the day for today is Hero by Mariah Carey. And we all have that capability of being a hero, not only in our own lives, but in the lives of others. So don't sell yourself short. And so look for songs like that. Another song I like is I'm a Lady by Meghan Trainor. And Like a Girl by, what's her name? She's a new one for me, so I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, but it'll probably come to me as we go on, and I'll let you know then, or I'll put it in the comments or in the information area. But yeah, she's a new performer for me, and I really like her music. It's very inspirational and courageous, so I like her a lot. Yep, nope, name's not coming to me. Okay, so then as far as movies go too, ditch the horror films and ditch the films about gangs and rapes and drugs, and go to the musicals. Go to Disney. You know, back in the 70s and 80s, Disney was putting out a lot of good, fun, family-oriented movies. And they're a little campy, but they're nice and sweet. Because I think, we are always confronted with these bad, sad, terrible abuse stories. And we've begun to live them out ourselves, and it's becoming normal. And this is not good. I mean, also another thing is to go to a ballet, or go to a musical in life, see a play or something like that, where it's not so graphic. Because our minds, no matter how old we are, our mind doesn't know that what we're seeing is just movies. We can tell it that all we want, but ultimately our mind doesn't know it. And so the more violence we visualize, the more fearful we are, the more aggressive we might become. And then we also learn some of these lines from the movies that make us even more aggressive. And so, Hollywood is putting out a lot of crap anymore. So I really highly recommend looking elsewhere. Look to biographies, look to anything else. Look to science, look to learning, or get out and go for a hike or a walk, or go ice skating, or go rollerblading, or go for a bike ride, go swimming. Just shut this garbage off. Because the garbage you put into your brain is going to stay there. And your body and your mind doesn't know the difference. And so when you see things happening, your body is digesting that and thinking that it should be afraid, it should be sad, it should be whatever. And again, it's not healthy. So be gentle with yourself first. When you respect your own body and you take care of your own body, then other people will start to notice. So that is actually not what I was planning on talking about, or the depth of that discussion was not how I thought it would go, but I think it went perfectly, and I like it. So, okay, and then I guess now I'm looking at the Louise Hay You Can Heal Your Life book, which I highly recommend for everybody. I just opened up to a page. What do we do now? Exercise number 1, I am willing to change. And so, yes, if you are someone who's not putting healthy things into your body, whether it's in your mind or heart or in your food system, in your energy form, this might be for you. I am willing to change. Let us use the affirmation, I am willing to change. Repeat this often. I am willing to change. I am willing to change. You can touch your throat as you say this. The throat is the energy center in the body where change takes place. By touching your throat, you are acknowledging you are in the process of changing. Be willing to allow the change to happen. When they come up in the changes to happen, when they come up in your life, be aware that where you do not want to change is exactly the area where you probably need to change the most. I am willing to change. The universal intelligence is always responding to your thoughts and words. Things will definitely begin to change as you make these statements. So I know what also is popular is doing tapping. So you can also say, I'm willing to change, and tap it. And tap all over your neck. Apparently it activates things, so I highly recommend that too. Okay, so that was good. So I've given you some ideas of how to change, and then this is for your soul. This is about what you can do. So it's from one of the Unitarian Universalist ministers. His name was Edward Everett Hale, and he was one of our sort of at the beginning of the USA. And this is called I Am Only One. It's also from Singing the Living Tradition, which is a wonderful book from the Unitarian Universalist Association. It's got all of our great quotes in it, wonderful songs and song sheets and all sorts of things. So anyways, have a look at that too. So I'm going to read it, and then you repeat each line as I read it after me. So I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do. Okay, so that is the service for today. Thank you very much for stopping by, and I hope I gave you some thoughts for the future, and I wish you a good week. I'm going to blow out this candle now. And I wish you peace and prosperity for this coming week. For today, too. Okay. Bye for now.